Good morning, everyone. Welcome Thursday morning express meditation. I believe last week Venerable Dondrup was taking you through the final stages of the lower realms. So today we'll go to some more lighter topics in some respects, but we'll be talking about refuge and the objects of refuge and the causes of refuge. So the yeah, we'll see where it goes. So um, yeah, find a comfortable position. Just trying to limit any physical pain or distraction. You can just check your sitting bones that you're sitting on your seat with as straight as back as possible. And you just feel the weight of the body sitting here. You can feel this mass. And there's a sense of grounding through your seat into the earth. And then shift your attention to your breath. And imagine that your body is just a hollow body, just a silhouette. And when you breathe in, the air fills your entire body, not just your lungs, but the entire body. And we'll just watch this breath for a minute as the air fills the entire body. And then on the out breath, there's the exhale, pushing out all the air. Now, with a calmer body and a calmer mind, we think about our motivation. So, something brought us here today. Something led us to this motivation, led us to this meditation. Maybe something pushed us. What was it? Is there dissatisfaction in the mind? A striving, a searching, looking for something beyond suffering? Looking for refuge? And something brought us to this point, and we're motivated to develop our minds, to explore our minds. So when we think about refuge, there's causes to refuge, because it's just like, in a way, it's just like karma, right? Karma is just a law, it's a natural law. And if there's refuge, then there has to be a cause for the refuge. And refuge is an interesting word. And when I think about it, I think about the Italian Alps. At the top, or kind of the tops of the peaks, or in the high mountains, they have buildings, and they're called refugio. So refuge, like a refuge hut. And I always found it interesting that you can imagine hundreds of years ago when travelers were traveling through and they needed to uh, seek shelter from the storms. I could seek shelter in these buildings, taking refuge, taking protection. And in Buddhism, this isn't physical, is it? We're talking about the mind. So we're talking about protection for the mind. So what propels us? What leads us to take this refuge, to take this refuge of the mind? So what's causing this? So I think one is it's kind of like a fear or a disliking or a not wanting, and that's in summary, in short, is not wanting to suffer. Right? We're looking for a refuge, a protection from the suffering that we experience um, in the three lower realms, in cyclic existence, and in the sufferings of all living beings. Do you think you'd be here? You'd be working on your mind, contemplating, um, developing pure refuge in your mind if you had no suffering, if you're completely happy? And then there's another um, part to refuge, to seeking refuge, or another cause of refuge. So the other one is having this like confident belief that the three jewels of refuge, the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha, that they have the power to protect you from the sufferings we just discussed. And it's not just a confidence or a belief, but confidence and belief based on the logic and reasoning. So what is this logic? So one aspect of the logic is I don't have long to live, and I'll die soon. So there's not a lot of time. And where will I be reborn? Especially thinking that my my death and my next life completely out of my hands. It's just in the hands of my karma. And think about, what does my karma look like? What's my positive karma, negative karma balance? So I don't know about you, but pretty sure my negative karma outweighs my positive karma significantly. Which gives me a good sense of healthy fear, something to work on my positive states of mind. As a kind of a mind that wants to have faith in the refuge, have faith in the three jewels. And there's a short quote to help us contemplate this from Dignaga. It says, there's no end to the depth of cyclic existence. Having been reborn in this ocean, the ruthless crocodiles of attachment and so on devour my body. To whom should I go for refuge? So it's important to contemplate these reasons of going for a refuge. And this helps ensure that our practice is sincere, is wholehearted, because it's not just words. It's not just, I go for refuge to the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. It's not just the words. We need these causes. We need something driving us to protect our mind. Because there's no effect without a cause. So you can ask yourself, do I want the sufferings of the three lower realms, cyclic existence, the suffering of watching illness, death, disease, war? Is that a satisfactory existence for me? And what about uh, the faith, the confidence, the confidence in the three jewels? And maybe just think about one, the Dharma, this vast compilation of uh, Buddha's teachings based on his own research. Which seems valid and logical, that suffering exists, our karma exists, there's a cessation to our suffering, there's liberation. So it is taking refuge in these three powers. Does this protect my mind? Does it protect my mind from wanting to stay in this samsaric cyclic existence? Does it, or does it propel me, give me something to strive for, give me some uh, reassurance, reassurance or protection as I go down this path, this mental transformation? So we dedicate all of the virtues, all of the merits that we developed, that we created during this meditation by having these contemplations. And we dedicate them to everyone that is sick, that may have a terminal illness, a temporal illness, or just having a bad day and not feeling well. May their illness quickly come to an end, never return. And may that karma that caused those illnesses be completely extinguished. Thank you, everyone.